Hey everybody, I'm Matt.
I'm Keith.
I'm Elijah.
And this is NuggetCast. Okay, we're back. This is episode 3 of the reboot. Let's see. So if you have not seen NuggetCast before, NuggetCast is the stories behind the stories of the Dahlonega Nugget newspaper. And I don't know, what do y'all have today for us?
Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to kind of keep it positive and do a little community rundown. It is the month of October, and as anyone that lives in Lumpkin knows, that's a busy time of year.
Right.
A lot of events going on, not just Gold Rush, which is, of course, this weekend, but plenty of other fundraisers and other fun activities going on. So I'm going to kind of do a little rundown of stuff coming up in the next week or two.
Right,
so.
It's October. I feel like there's a festival happening like around the clock here in Dahlonega.
24/7.
Right. It's like Waffle House, like open 24 hours. All right, what you got, Elijah?
So when it comes to sports, if people were to look at last week's Nugget, I think the big bold headline on the front page, region champions, softball. Last week I think we kind of touched on it with Mr. Horton a little bit, but we saw one of the most how would you describe it? Magical, I think was one word he used. But it was one of the most highly contested softball games I have ever been to. You go into the 9th inning, Aubrey Woodson comes up to the plate, rockets a home run, 2-run homer. We end up tucking the game away 3-2 over White County, which was huge. And, we're going through the playoffs now. So, I feel like it would be really important to kind of get somebody from the team in here. And, who better than the person that hit that home run?
But we can't. Do you think you can actually get her for an interview? Like, she's pretty busy.
Well, yeah, I'm sure, somebody like
you
that.
You managed to get Aubrey.
Oh,
wow, okay. So she will be joining us today.
She will be here.
Amazing. Awesome. So just before we jump into that, I wanted to talk to you guys. Maybe just have like, heart-to-heart, like pretend the cameras aren't there, which is which we can't actually do. But I was, we're newspaper people. We're used to, like, when we have to express ourselves, we sit down and, write. This is me typing. We type.
Clickety-clack.
Yeah. And we get time to think, and, I can, like, mess up, and I do, and, like, autocorrect fixes my spelling errors. This is a whole different medium that we're doing right now. We're just sitting and talking, which is fun. But I was wondering, like, I've noticed things, like, having watched myself for, like, having a camera on you for an hour. Mm-hmm. I've noticed things about myself when I'm on camera. Mostly my foot, my bouncing foot. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm working hard to keep my foot under control. Like, I just want everyone to know. But I didn't realize, like, the first episode, like, I was doing this, like, continuously. And I realize I do that now, just from, like, looking at an hour's worth of footage of myself. You guys were nice because I watched that first episode and I was like, we did really good except for my bouncing foot. And, we're like, oh, I didn't notice it. But I was talking to my mom last night and she's like, I like your podcast, but you need to keep your foot still.
Something a mom would totally bring up, right?
So if my mom is listening or watching, hey, Mom, her name's Alice, if you want,
Hi, Alice.
So I didn't know, have y'all, first off, I want to say I'm going to be working really hard to keep this foot under control. But second off, I was wondering, did you notice anything from when watching yourself?
I think my biggest thing is I'm a lot more self-conscious about how I sit.
Right.
I kind of noticed, like, you go back and watch that first episode, and I kind of, all slouched over, and I was like, man, that's driving me crazy. So, like, if you'll notice me now, I'm sitting here, I got my legs crossed, just trying
Perfect posture.
Right.
It's amazing.
Trying to look a little bit better.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I try to watch myself on video as little as possible. But, I've taken a look, and definitely, I mean, I know I have an issue with the restless leg. To me, it's my right knee. I want to do the knee bop. But
right.
I can kind of keep it under control with some thought, but I found that in substitute, I'm doing a lot of mic cord twirling instead. I noticed that.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't notice that. So I think the thing is maybe we're just looking at ourselves and not, maybe that's just how it works. But Yeah, I think, and I get what you're saying. Like you almost forget, like how do I sit again? How does a person sit naturally? Like, but hopefully we're all sitting naturally right now, and we're gonna invite someone else to sit with us.
Naturally, of course.
Naturally, yeah. Should we bring her in? Do you want
Let's
to
bring her in.
introduce her, or
Absolutely.
like are you like?
Yeah, so absolutely, we'll go ahead and bring her in. Aubrey, if you want to come in and join us.
Welcome.
Hi, Aubrey.
So I think we got to kind of start this whole thing off, recapping last night. First game, state playoff, you guys go out there, 2-15-0 wins. What's some big takeaways for you as a player to go out there and come away with that win?
I mean, it was just overall fun. We had some kids that usually don't get to play, got some playing time, so that was good. Really just getting through the first round. That's what a high seed will get you, a lower seed. So you're going to win the first round, and then you go on to the second round. Hopefully we'll win that and then get to Columbus.
And, to kind of start, the state playoffs out, with 15-0 wins, I feel like that's got to do something for, team morale when you kind of look past it going into the next game. So do you feel like, just kind of coming in, having those two big games to kind of start, the playoffs is a good setup for the rest of the playoffs?
I definitely think it helped us, but, we got to go back to work, go to practice, get on the machines, get better and get prepared for Southeast Public. Hopefully we'll beat some tail there.
Awesome. And, I feel like another thing that, people, when they see you sitting here, as I already kind of alluded to, the first thing I think, that comes to mind is, this is the girl that went up there and, possibly won us a region championship with a home run. So I feel like we kind of got to go into that a little bit. So, like, in like your own words, can you kind of, like, recap what that moment was like for you?
It was really a fun experience. You've won stuff before, but it was never nothing like that. It was a lot different. It was great though. It's great.
And, I feel like, when the crowd was sitting there, we were tied, going into the ninth inning. So everybody's sitting there kind of waiting on something to happen. And then, you come up there and you rip it. And so, I feel like, what was running through your head? You go up there and you're put in a big position like this. Everybody's waiting on something to happen. And then it happens. To kind of be in that situation, what was that like for you?
Honestly, I was just trying to hit the ball hard. Me and Riley Dyer talked about it in the on-deck circle. We were joking around. We were like, Riley gets on, and then you just hit it out, then we win. And she was like, that would be great. And then it actually happened. I was like, wow, we actually executed what we were trying to do. But I was just trying to get on base, hand the bat to Taylor, let her do her thing, and then it went. And I was like, well.
And,
okay.
You get out there, you're running around the bases, the crowd's erupting. What does that sound like, when you're going around the bases? Do you hear the crowd when, you're rounding your way back towards home?
To be honest, no, I don't. Usually when I'm hitting or running, I try to, drown out crowd noise, just really focus. And, yeah, so I really don't hear the crowd very much.
Awesome. And, one thing I do think you hear is, you get back to home plate and the whole team's out there, jumping up and down.
Yeah.
I think Taylor, she did a whole bat flip
Yeah.
and everything when you were running the bases. So what was that like, kind of coming around and, just being crowded by everybody right there?
That was so much fun. That was definitely the best home run I've ever hit. So that was so much fun going to the plate. Coach Jones was there, and then all my girls.
That's awesome. And, another thing is, I feel like you're around the team. You're on the team. You're around the team a lot. A lot more. When you kind of look back over the season, I feel like people would want to hear, your perspective of, your teammates. And so, if you had to, kind of point out some people that you felt, did some really big things throughout the season, who would you highlight and why?
Definitely Riley Dyer, obviously on the mound and at the plate. She's a big part of the team. Ava Estes in center, she does amazing out there, and she's a big part of our lineup. Cadence has done great behind the plate all season, hitting the ball very well. And to be honest, the bottom of our lineup has really started to come together, and they've started hitting the ball very well. So that's good too.
Yeah. And, you brought up Dyer. I think, that game, she 16 strikeouts. She's a sophomore.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Coming out here competing against seniors and 16 strikeouts and, a region championship softball game. That's phenomenal. So when you think about, just the whole view of everything. I feel like this team is stacked. We think about state playoff runs and region championships. When we have that kind of talent, and like I said, we're running through state playoffs and everything now, do you see like a deep run? When we kind of look ahead to everything.
Yeah, I definitely think we have a very good chance to go to Columbus. Make it the first, second round, possibly even win it all. Yeah, we worked really hard for it, so hopefully it'll come together and we'll go really far in Columbus.
That's awesome. And I kind of put together some fun little questions for you. I don't want you to think too much when I ask you these. So it's first thought. All right. So it's who do you think on the team has the best walkout music whenever they come up to bat?
Riley or Cadence?
Okay. And who would you say has the worst?
Ella.
But what is the walkout music? I got to know.
Honestly, I don't know Cadence's. She changes hers like every other week. Riley's is She's Country by Jason Aldean. And I don't remember what Ella's is, but it's not good.
But it's not good. Who would you say is most likely to bring snacks?
Tia.
Is that like a normal thing for her?
Sorry.
Yeah, Tia always eating. She's always got Chick-fil-A. She always has a coffee, whether she made it or whether she went and bought it. Every practice, every game, Tia always has a coffee.
We're learning a lot here, guys.
Yeah. No, this is the inside stuff. Yeah.
Who would you say has the best celebration dance?
Probably Taylor. Yeah,
Would you say, if you had to pick somebody that you would think would be most likely to practice that dance before a game, say like in front of a mirror, who do you think that would be?
Probably the freshmen. Okay, so Abby and Elin and Aniston are always like dancing and stuff, and I feel like they definitely do practice their dances before they.
All right, so let's get into bus rides. I think a lot of people are kind of known to, take naps and stuff on a bus. So who do you think for sure would be napping on like a long trip?
Tia. Every game, we could be going to Dawson. Tia has a blanket, a pillow, and an eye mask, and she will sleep, whether it's 5 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes. She will sleep the whole time.
Awesome. And, let's talk about forgetful stuff. So, like, who would you say is most likely to forget, say, like, bringing a glove or, their equipment to a game? That was fast.
Yeah.
No hesitation.
Poor Carmen. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Let's see. What is one thing that you think Coach Jones would say repeatedly, either during a game or at practice?
That's hard. He says a lot of things, so
He doesn't have like something that you guys kind of expect to hear.
I mean, this season, like after games and at practice, it's always been about like being at the top of the region and winning regions. But now that we won regions, not really. He's just.
Does he have a slogan or something like that? No,
not really.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that covers just about everything I had. I don't know if you guys have any questions for it.
I did have one question. So I'm like, I made it as far as Little League for for baseball, and I spent most of my career in like right field saying, please, I didn't want the ball to come to me. Like, oh no. So when you find yourself in that situation, this is what you're like. This is probably what when you're playing in the backyard, you're thinking of like bottom of the ninth or top of the ninth in this case. You're in the situation where you can win the game. What level of nervousness were you, and what level of are you scared, nervous? Is this the situation you want to be in? What are you thinking at that point? Like when it comes down to that.
To be honest, I was trying to get all the nerves out. After Riley got on, I knew I had the chance to, tie it or go ahead. And I was really just trying to, calm down, treat it like any other at bat, just hit the ball hard, get on base, and let the rest of the lineup do their thing. Is there a moment when you step in the batter's box and you're like, okay, well, now this is, no matter what the situation is, like, this is what I'm used to doing, kind of, and it kind of calm down. Yeah, once you're in the box, it's really all the nerves just go. It's just another at bat. Yeah, that's great. Do you have any like superstitions or anything? Do you not step on the line or something, or is there? I was wondering. I mean, I usually don't step on the line just because I don't like the way the chalk looks messed
Yeah,
up.
That
But
would be
other
crazy,
than that,
man.
no, I'm not really superstitious.
Oh, okay. All right. So just for like aesthetic purposes, you don't step on the
Yeah.
line. I get that. Yeah.
How about pregame rituals? Do you have like any like pregame rituals that you kind of stick to?
Not really. I mean, I always do my hair the same, so it's always got to be perfect. It could take 10 minutes, it could take an hour, but it's got to be the same way every game. So that's about the only thing I do like consistently
Does anybody?
before the game.
No one ever brings up how come y'all don't get hats? Like, does no one want hats like for softball? Like, no.
I think there's
For
visors.
We
baseball?
do visors instead. We don't wear
Oh,
hats.
okay. I got you. Yeah.
You have
You have any-
anything?
Not really. I think Matt's question kind of got into you know,
Hats and superstition. That was my yeah.
I think one other good thing that we could ask is, we kind of, we talked about this next game, Southeast or Southwest Bullock, or is it Southwest? No, Southwest Bullock or Southeast Bullock? I don't know. One of those two.
Southeast, right?
That's pretty
okay.
bad.
Right.
But we kind of look ahead to that next game, and I feel like when you look ahead, I feel like you got to have like your own kind of expectations for a game. So if there's anything that you personally want to accomplish the next game, what would you say those goals were?
Definitely keeping the ball in the air. That's something we talk about at practice. Me and Coach Jones, that first at bat, not getting under the ball. So definitely keeping the ball on a line. Hopefully my knee will be good and that I can catch. So we'll see.
Awesome. And would you say, like, I know you've kind of been around the team and everything, so, like, would you say there's anything that kind of stands out, maybe that's kind of different about the team this year, with what you guys have already been able to achieve?
I think as the seasons got on, we've started, working together more. At the beginning of the season, we were kind of all, I guess, working on our own, kind of every man for himself. And as the season went on, we all started kind of getting close, and now we really play for each other. And so
That's awesome. That's perfect.
Congratulations on the big
Thank
win.
you.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, of course.
Good luck.
Thanks for taking
Thank
time out
you.
of a busy schedule to come in.
All right, that was awesome. Behind the scenes, like in that transition, we got some more inside info that Aubrey said that she can't sleep in the bus because one of the coaching staff members is just too crazy of a driver, or maybe not crazy. I don't want to get by in trouble, but she like car sickness. She can't do it. I wouldn't be able to sleep on the bus.
No, I can't
Yeah.
either. I get motion sick,
I
unfortunately.
think she went as far to saying Abby, like, threw up out, the bus one time.
That's not good pregame.
So if you're the driver.
Yeah, right. We won't mention your name because we actually forgot, but still, All right, so Keith, you got your file.
Yeah. This one's pretty neutral, though. It's not too controversial. But, yeah, we'll do a little event roundup today. But it's kind of newsy, too, because some of this just is breaking. This morning I attended the morning meeting of the Dahlonega Sunrise Rotary Club, and it is
They
at
meet
sunrise.
super early, yes.
Super early this morning, and they meet over at the elementary school now. And I was invited over because Stan Kelly, the current chairman of the Lumpkin County Veterans Affairs Committee, was going to be giving a speech, and he did. And he talked about his background and life, which was just really interesting. He's done so many different things. He served as the first county manager after we went from a sole commissioner to a board of commissioners, and he served in that role for many years until he retired in 2021.
Right.
But he's also been involved with the Lumpkin County Sheriff's Office and just worn a lot of different hats
He's
in the
got
community.
a whole building named after him, too.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and but really right now his big push is fundraising for the Veterans Cemetery that the county's been kind enough to donate land for here, and so we covered it initially when it was proposed, when the county approved the land. Actually, we covered it in Nugget, but now there's been an update. There's a new concept plan, a revised plan with a little more details. You might remember at the meeting, the county kind of last minute decided to donate extra land to allow for possible future expansion. Because
how many acres are we talking about? Like 7 or
I don't have it written here, but I believe it ended up to 11, but it was lower than that to start. Gotcha. I'm pretty sure it's I believe it's 11 acres now, but I could be mistaken there. But it allows some room for future expansion. Some of the commissioners, like Tucker Green, were a little concerned that, with so many veterans in the community, that we wouldn't want it to run out of space and not be able to accommodate a need. So that project, the fundraising is coming along, and there have been some pretty high-profile donations recently, and one of those occurred there, and that was the Sunrise Rotary itself. They presented a check for $10,000.
Wow. Big
donation. And the reason that's important is they're trying to get to the next level of fundraising. The Lowell and Betty Dunn Foundation is doing matching dollar-for-dollar funds for this project in $50,000 increments. So once the LCVAC reaches the $50,000 point, it'll unlock another 50 in matching funds. Okay. So, and they're going to continue, the Dunn family's going to continue to do that until the project's fully funded. So it's really helpful. So with the $10,000 from Sunrise Rotary, Mr. Kelly announced that they were 11,000 away from hitting that target. But at that exact moment, Chairman Dockery, Chris Dockery, who's a Rotarian himself, was seated in the back. And he spoke up and said he would personally donate $2,000 more toward the cemetery from his own money. And then not to be outdone right after that, prior LCVAC chair and Vietnam veteran Bill Poole said he would throw in $5,000 of his money. So that was another 7, and do the math, that only leaves $4,000 left to hit that next tranche of matching funds. So that's really big. I'm going to be covering that, in an upcoming article because that's just really huge. I think that's going to be such a benefit to the community. And, I want to compliment the Rotarians on a job well done there. And they mention that the reason they were able to donate the $10,000 is that's money they've already raised from their upcoming big fundraiser, the 2026 New Year's Eve Adult Prom fundraiser. So that's going to be on Wednesday, December 31st, 2026 at the KC Bison Ranch. And features music by Brickhouse DJ Clay Christie. They're going to have a catered dinner. And you can do sponsorship tiers in different denominations from $500 to $8,000, and then there's individual tickets for around $100. And those can still be purchased online at DahlongaSunriseRotary.com on their website. So they're still raising money with that, but the point is that they immediately are putting that money to work. I mean, the event hasn't even happened, and they're already pumping that money back out into the community. Yeah. And it benefits other projects of the Rotarians as well, including the Monthly Fix, which was featured in a recent Nugget article. That's a new program that's going to address, individual requests in the community. Right. I think that's great. I really think that's great.
What is the total that they're trying to reach for the cemetery? Do you know that? They're trying to get up to that match, but what the grand total is?
I don't have the grand total here in front of me, but I want to say it was possibly around 150. I'm not. I can't. Right. I don't want to misquote that. But
are you going to the adult prom? Is anybody here going?
Or Elijah, are you going?
There's an adult prom.
Yeah, that's
what and I forgot. I got to tell you how it breaks down because it does sound fun. So it's tiered, right? So it starts at 6 p.m. and they're going to have different tiers based on your age group. So you get to identify with the music that was from when you came up. So at 6 p.m. it's going to be 50s and 60s dance music. And there will be voting for the prom king and queen at that point. 7 p.m., 70s and 80s dance music with prom pictures and dinner at that point. 8 p.m., 90s to 2000s dance music.
That's us.
And the prom king and queen presentation, exactly. 9 p.m. today's dance music and Rotarian of the Year, and then they wrap it up at 10 with the Nugget Drop.
Wow.
We got to love a Nugget Drop.
I know.
Right? So, yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. So I figured I'd give that a shout since those funds really help the community directly. So that's that. And then I just also want to do a real quick rundown of some other stuff coming up here in the busy month of October. I noticed the Holly Theater's got a couple different movies coming up. I don't know who the individual sponsors were for those, but as you know, those are free admission, first come, first serve.
Right. It's kind of a new thing that's
it's a new thing they're doing
cool.
where a sponsor pays for the movie up front, and then they get to speak and get their name put up on the marquee if they want, and then the community just gets to come and enjoy it. So I thought that was really cool, and they've got a spooky season offering on October 17th. Hocus Pocus, the movie, is going to be at the Holly. Doors open at 5:30. You would want to go ahead and get there probably early to make sure and get a seat for that. So that's really neat. Then we've got Gold Rush coming up this weekend.
Right.
A big deal as always. Republican Party is going to be doing their letters to the military, which they do every year there, which is really neat. You can stop by their tent and express your gratitude towards the military. And then, going back to the Rotary, they've got their Noonday Rotary Gold Rush 5K on Saturday, this Saturday at 8 a.m. And I don't know if registration is still open for that.
Yeah,
do you know?
Yeah, I checked on that. I think it still is.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you can register for that.
I don't know if you're going to mention that that's a literal gold rush because whoever finishes first gets a gold nugget donated by
a real, genuine gold nugget.
Gold nugget.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want that? I mean, gold is over 4,000 an ounce, I believe, right now.
Yeah, I know.
Initiate training montage.
Let's get to it.
Is it too late for me to prepare now?
I don't know.
So I got this a little backwards, but Friday night, October 17th, prior to that, A Few Good Men will be at the Hall. That was the old movie. Right? That was switched. I'm sorry. That's Rudy. These are my notes before that got changed. Yeah, so that got switched. So that's Rudy now.
Switched to Rudy from A Few Good Men.
From A Few Good Men, yeah. So
Rudy's movies,
both good. And Rudy's PG, so that's probably family-friendly fare. So that'll be doors are at 6 for that one.
What day was that? I'm asking because I might want to go.
October 17th. So that's
like a...
Wait, hold on. How could that...
October
Something's not right here because I have Hocus Pocus, I said, was that night. So that one must be later on.
Okay.
I have to get that straight. I think Hocus Pocus has got to be the first one on Friday. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think you're right because I was thinking of going.
Yeah. I think Rudy's later. Yeah. Well, anyway, hopefully
check the Nugget.
Yeah. Hopefully it's right in the calendar.
Is all like a ploy to get you to read the Nugget to find the real date.
So let's see. This weekend, UNG is going to have a pottery palooza going on during Gold Rush, and you can buy pottery both days, Saturday and Sunday, from 9 to 4 at the Choice Street Studios veranda across from the Smith House.
Okay.
And it says buy local, support UNG art students. So that'll be there for you. And then also going on this Gold Rush weekend, Holly Theater tours. And those are going to be free tours of the historic theater all weekend. The tours on Saturday are at 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. and Sunday at noon. Yeah. So if you haven't ever been to the Holly Theater, it's gorgeous, definitely neat to see. I mean, it's worth checking out for free. I would do the tour or check out one of the free movies. I mean, either way, you can't go wrong.
Right. I think a lot of people maybe they've been to the Holly, but they haven't seen what's behind the curtain there. And also, like, downstairs, that little area. I don't know if you've ever been down there.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I guess that's part of the tour. You could see the
probably,
whole thing.
Yeah, probably
and
so.
If you guys are a fan of like spooky season, ask about the ghosts.
Right. I've heard about
Because apparently that place is reportedly like haunted. I had to do a whole article
I have heard
on it.
that.
And it's almost like if you're a theater and you don't have a ghost, then what are you doing? Do you really need
every theater needs its own Phantom of the Opera.
But it's interesting stuff because it kind of ties into
Yeah.
the history of the Holly and everything too. So if you ever get the opportunity to ask about that, I would ask about it.
So we've written, like, you wrote a story for Mount Traveler about the ghosts around town, and a few years, like actually many years ago, I wrote something too about the ghost of the Holly. So yeah, that legend lives on. So.
Yep.
So last thing I want to mention, and this is more of a newsy item, but I feel like I need to bring it up. The second public hearing regarding the Overlook, the new city development that's been in the news lately that would go in across from Clay Creek Falls Road on Dawsonville Highway. The second meeting for that before the city council is this Monday night. That is at 4 p.m. at Dahlonega City Hall. So, this past paper we covered the outcome of the city planning hearing, which takes place first.
Right.
They voted to recommend approval, but of course it has to go to the city for a final vote. So obviously there was a big turnout for that last meeting, but I wonder, what the turnout will be like for this one, since it looks like it's cruising towards possible approval.
Yeah. Still, the hearing, the mic is open for anybody who wants to,
anyone that wants their voice to be heard.
The city council.
Yeah.
Because last time it was the planning commission.
Right.
Now,
It'll be a different body hearing the case this time. Yep.
Yeah.
And can I bring up something else that kind of happened for us over the week?
Yes.
I don't think we kind of touched on it yet, but we actually received an award from the school for being a partner in education.
That's right.
And to be in our role and kind of work around the kids and everything that like we do, I feel like that's a big deal for all of us.
Yeah, that really meant a lot, and really appreciate the school system for recognizing us on that.
Yep. And another thing I want to kind of bring up is, we kind of brought in Maddie Mendoza. She actually attends school here, at the high school, and she's doing an internship with us. And she actually had her first assignment. She's going to be covering sports. She's a softball player herself. She wrestles. She's got a state championship ring from the wrestling season last year. So I feel like there's a lot of cool stuff that we can kind of do with her.
Yeah. Also, like, I should mention it every NuggetCast, but right now we are in Lumpkin County High School in their awesome studio.
Let's not forget, it's their hospitality and Radford Wyndham's generous donation of his time to help make this podcast possible.
Right.
So
him and his students too. We're just sitting here talking.
They're doing the hard work of the editing,
right.
and we wouldn't probably have time to frankly do this without their help.
So. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're just gonna get up and walk away, and they're gonna have to edit all the stuff that you didn't see, like where we messed up several times. Like, hopefully you don't see that. I wanted to mention about the amount of things, like you could continue to read. We would be here for an hour. Like the amount of stuff going on now in October.
It continues on through the end of October and even into the first half of November.
Keeps going until Christmas.
Basically.
But I was like going for a run through the square the other day, and it felt like some points I feel like our downtown almost feels like a movie set. Like there's so many things going on. There was the Cattoberfest happening. Is that what it was, Cattober?
Yeah, it was very well attended this year.
That was filling up the whole Hancock Park.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turned the corner and there was I don't know, a lady in front of the Chamber of Commerce with an armadillo that was talking about like some kind of nature presentation.
Missed that.
Yeah, and just everywhere you go, there's stuff happening. It's bustling.
It is bustling
out there.
I think one thing I noticed going around the square. Have y'all seen the Sasquatch that they've got?
Yes.
Yeah. That is a neat scarecrow.
It is pretty awesome.
It looks kind of real.
It kind of frightens me every time.
Did you pay attention to the sign that was hanging on it?
It's the Sozo Bear.
No.
The Sozo Bear.
Is it Sozo Bear? Man,
Yeah.
Those guys do great work.
I know. Yeah,
they really do.
That's like movie quality Sasquatch right
there.
Right?
Yeah, it catches your eye as you're rounding the square for sure.
It does startle me every time that I go by it, really. So that's happening too, like the scarecrow.
Scares on the Square. What do they call that?
So Scares on the
contest?
Square is the official like trick or treat night.
Oh, that's
Then
right.
there's a Scarecrow Stomp, I believe, that's going on right now. So just lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you think that wraps it up for this week?
Yeah, I think that
I
about
think
covers
that about
everything.
covers it. Yeah.
All right. Now I can just like get my foot can start bouncing now.
Let that thing go.
Right. All right. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate it. Oh, actually, we should let you know that we're on YouTube. You might be watching us on YouTube. We're on Spotify. If you don't want to like look at us, you just want to listen to us. We understand. So we're on
Totally
Spotify.
understand.
Right.
I love the sound of the Spotify too. It sounds amazing.
I know it does sound professional with our fuzzy mics here. And if you like this, please like and share. Also subscribe, but the best thing you could do is subscribe to our actual paper. With that, we would love that. So thanks again to Lump County High School, Radford Wyndham, and the class for making this happen. And I guess we'll see you next week. Right?
Bye.
See ya.